clean this beforehand. Cover your ears, everybody. Trolled you. Sorry about that. Hi, how is everybody? Hope you all are well. Starting early. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Those graphics from Project Achieva. Mark Lawrence says, can't say they didn't call out Discovery on this one. Called out Discovery, and they also called out the Kelvin timeline. Matt Boardman, that made me laugh so hard. Mark Lawrence, I could barely get out exactly through my LOLs. I bet they debated putting that dig in. Also got the return of the great koala, says Ozzy. Oh my god, I love the digs. Tendy to the rescue again. SC Scout guy. It was cool seeing a Defiant class and Sovereign class in the same episode. Yeah. Just for the record, guys, that I just want to clarify this from the get-go. We have a video coming out on the weekend about that Defiant class. It is not the Defiant. A lot of people think it's the Defiant. It's not. The second Defiant, the Sao Paulo, it got its dispensation to have its name changed to Defiant, but it did not have a cloaking device. And the design of it is slightly different than the actual Defiant class. It's got more pointed engine pods. The front module is different, and the back is quite a bit different. So we have a video coming out about that. It is. I like the fact that it's a Section 31 version of the ship, or just a new version of the Defiant class. That's like lessons learned from the Dominion War. So yeah, just to clear that up right out of the gate. We have a video coming out comparing it, and it's quite different. And considering how almost exactly precise the Sovereign was, like we said before, when they make changes like that, they did it on purpose. So I do like that it's, you know, using a cloaking device because it's Section 31. I think that's hilarious, actually. But yeah. George Takei, yes. Long live the pugs. Neil Henderson, is this real or is it a holodeck? Is what real? Ozzy, and yes, that's the original Captain Sulu. Oh, absolutely. BJ Tehran, funny that I got a Discovery ad at the end after lampooning Section 31. Joseph says, this was a big win for me. Yes, I'm going to go out and just say that this is one of the best episodes of Lower Decks ever. I absolutely love this one. So many references, so many laughs. It was just a fun ride. Fleet Paw, the Warming of the Warbirds, slapped. Good design. Matt Boardman, I have to take off here as I'm on boyfriend duty tonight. So sad because I really wanted to discuss the episode more with you, Stuart. That's okay. You go take care of your boyfriend, Matt. The Bizarres are also blue. Yes, there's that too. Matt Boardman, I loved this episode. Amen, brother. SC Scout guy, George Takei did not sound right, but that is mainly because of his age. Yeah, I had to check the credits to make sure it actually was him. There's a few moments where it sounded like him, and quite a few where it didn't. So, Rich Klein, is Ensign Pug present and accounted for? Yes, Ensign Pug and a Cadet Pug is here as well. Boimler Twin is now in Section 31. Yes, best episode yet, says Tim Rose. I think I agree. Oh my! I like how it's like Captain Kirk. No. Oh my, no. Captain Sulu. That's even better. Samuel says, have fun. I sleep now. I grow weary. I sleep now. Delilah C. Johnson. Missed you, Captain. It was a good episode. I got the same ad. Oh, for Discovery, yeah. Samuel says, funny episode for sure. Captain Casey Stewart. Glad they jabbed at Disco, but still hate comm badges. Yes, that's the point. We've always said that was entirely stupid, and the fact that they carried that over is hilarious. Like, Section 31 is still stupid. It's funny. The Great Koala. Yeah. Even the oh my sounded off. Oh, it did. It absolutely did not sound like George Takei. Trekyards is here saying, hey, hey. But yeah, there's so much to like in this episode, so much to love in this episode. Everything about it, man. Very little I didn't like in this episode, or that kind of, was to me. It was hit after hit after hit. And yes, the movie episodes are the ones I live for. Those where they really have fun with the universe and exactly what you and I would do if we had a holodeck. So hell yeah. Fantastic, fantastic episode. Really can't wait to talk about it tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, after our live, we have our live at our regular time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we do the breakdown of this episode. But after that, we are going to be, like, after we end our live, probably in half an hour to an hour after that, we're going to be on a live with Thomas Maroney talking about starships. So check that out, guys. Should be fun. AJ Leonard, the Deep Space Nine episode is my favorite for the season, but this one was great as well. Fair enough. Chuck A, I loved where Mariner slapped over the letterbox screen. Or stepped over the letterbox screen. Oh, is that what she was doing? I didn't get that. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's what it is. Okay, that's funny. Good call, Chuck. Mr. Anderson, Sulu sounded more like Shatner's Kirk at first, to be honest. Fleetpaw said, planets named after Shatner and Shaq's voice actor, Fred Tat. I can't spell it, but awesome. Didn't notice that. Wow, cool. Squadron Course, that must be an imposter. Sam doesn't sleep. He just sits really still while waiting for lighting passes to finish. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Squadron Course, that must be an I read that one. Damn it. Casey Stewart said, heard a little Wrath of Khan intro theme. Ozzy says, Lady Doctor has the hots for Boimler. Well, yeah, he programmed her. I love how after he's like, no, I don't want to do anything with you. She's like, that was my whole purpose in this program. I don't know what to do now. And she just stood there. That was great. Mark says, I'm like you. I had to check the credits, but I'm glad they got George Takei. I definitely had to check the credits just to make sure. I didn't want to say, like, ooh, George Takei's back. I can't see them doing Sulu without George Takei, though, honestly, considering he's still alive. But it did not sound like him to me. And when I said that to Samuel, Samuel's like, you say that about everybody. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. I don't associate. It's hard for me sometimes to hear a voice through an animation, considering that they're in a booth and not really on set where they kind of project a little bit differently. It did not sound like Sulu to me. He said it absolutely sounded like it to him. Some people say that. There were moments that sounded like George Takei for sure, but there were quite a few other ones that did not. So that's kind of, a personal thing that some people just didn't hear George Takei. So it is what it is. So. SC Scout Guy, Mike McMahon really needs to be given his own live-action Trek show set in the Lost era and be allowed to do whatever he wants. Speaking of, when they went to, was it 2134 or 2234, whatever the slime era was, I thought that was fucking hilarious. I wish they would have mentioned something like, oh, this is why nobody talks about this era very much. That would have been hilarious, honestly. Or just a reference to the Lost era would have been fun. I really expected it when I saw the date and I saw the Monster Maroons. I'm like, yes, that's cool. And you got time travel here as well. I love time travel stories. So there's so much here for me that I loved. Fantastic episode. George Mangrum throws in $10. The Tandy backflip gets a 10 out of 10. Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh my. As you can tell, it is the thumbnail for this video for a reason. Delilah said, what did you think of the Kelvin timeline joke? I thought it was fucking great. A parallel universe that runs concurrent with ours that has younger actors playing us. And Tendy's like, that seems highly improbable. Yes, fucking great. The horse is going to beat you now. No, the horse is going to bite you now, it says. Chuck A. George sounded at times like Sulu, yes. Jason Hurdle, new ship NCC 1701F. Not in this show. In the Picard trailer, yes. Springtime, William will be missed, or will he? Well, they're building up to something. Think about it. Just think about it for a second. Rutherford's got some weird shit going on with somebody planning something with his implant. So there's that conspiracy. Then you got the other Boimler who's now in Section 31, who at some point, I'm sure, is going to come back and need the other Boimler's help, or people are going to start hunting the wrong Boimler thinking it's the Section 31 Boimler. So that's a thing. And then Tendi, with her Orion pirate skills, she can kick ass and take names. We've seen her do it with the Starfleet Black Ops guys, and then in the episode with the Deep Space Nine episode. So you've got, and then Mariner, of course, is a badass. Mariner's been around forever, knows everybody, has done secret ops missions. So you got Mariner, Boimler. Well, Boimler's kind of the odd man out, but his clone isn't. And Tendi and Rutherford. Damn, man. They're building up to something big. I guarantee it. Mark Lawrence, $20. I need to throw monies in. This was definitely a top 10 episode for all of New Trek. That dig on the black badges was a direct hit on the disco team. The perfect way to end this amazing episode. Yes, absolutely. Fleet Paw Swiftback throws in $5 this week on Cerritos. This week on Cerritos Must Suffer. Cerritos gets the tar kicked out of it by a Romulan warbird. Well, it's not a warbird, it was a Valdor, but yes. This is Jericho. I knew when Boimler came back to the holodeck, visibly upset that something had happened to his brother. Well, it's not his brother, it's his clone. And no, I didn't think that, because he says duty assignment or whatever, and I figured he got changed to another like shift instead of the to the Delta shift or something, or actually was being transferred to another ship. That's what I assumed. So Jeremy Caulfield, done with Section 31 in New Trek, not very Trek. Totally agree. Section 31 has been overplayed. Smart Smears, it's interesting to think about, but if Boimler never got cloned, he would be in Section 31 right now. Not necessarily, no. The clone Boimler had more confidence and had the service record of being on the Titan, so that's why he's in Section 31. Our Boimler wouldn't have been. Daniel Darnell, I love the black badge comment. Yes, that was just the icing on the cake. Springtime, what about the new unmarked Defiant class ship at the very end? Yes, very cool. No registry. We have a video coming about it on the weekend. It is different in design. It's slightly different in design. And yeah, the new Defiant, the second Defiant, didn't have a cloaking device. So, Jonathan, George Takei on Resident Alien just had his voice, but it sounded much more like George Takei. Maybe you need to ask Mike what is up with the sound booth. Daniel Darnell, I thought he was transferred to another ship to reassignment. Delilah says, I know it was 2 episodes ago. Did you think about Tendi being the real Orion? Where is the one on Deep Space Nine being adopted over his people? I know it was 2 episodes ago, but did you think about Tendi being the real Orion? I don't know what you mean specifically, but really? Are you going to snore? Precious. Hey, wake up. He's snoring. The viewer, Captain Tendi, my hero. Yeah, Tendi's kind of like the Tilly analog here. I want to be captain someday. I thought that was cool. Mark says, I think Ransom told him about William. Then he created the sequel. Chuck A, $2. Rutherford eating Subway was very funny. That sub looked good, man. I want a sub now, actually. ST Scout Guy, is it funny Rutherford was eating Subway because the voice actor narrates the Subway commercial? Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's hilarious. Springtime. Hopefully Boimler will get his promotion back. Wow. Jason says Enterprise F. Yes, it's in the card. I understand. Yeah. Fleet Paw. I did not know about SC Scout. I did not know that, SC Scout guy. Mark Lawrence, gotta have chips. Rich Klein, $5. I hope that Mike McMahon doesn't have Sloan or JoJo in next season's Lower Decks. Well, you know, the lady that handed in the badge sounded kind of like JoJo. And the profile view, like the kind of over the shoulder shot, you see that she had kind of sharp features. So she could have been JoJo, like time travel-y JoJo. We don't know where she got sent back to after Carl sent her back. That's the Guardian of Forever. So who knows? Who knows? Could tie in with Strange New Worlds too. That'd be kind of neat. Well, I move the pugs, yes. Jeremy Caulfield says, I like the uniforms they were wearing during the simulation. Yes, not the standard First Contact style uniforms, but like a version of them that's very Cerritos-like. I thought they looked sharp, actually. Isn't Sloan dead? Yes, Sloan is very dead. Chuck A. Eugene Cordero also is in Simply Juice commercials. Nice. Delilah says, you know how Worf was a Klingon stereotype and the Orion from DS9 stereotype, whereas most Klingons were not as honorable as him. Oh yeah, I pointed that out. I've always said that Worf is the most Klingon of all Klingons because he wasn't raised on Klingon. Therefore, he aspires to be the perfect Klingon, and therefore, everything he does is kind of perfect Klingon in honor and everything. So yeah, he overcompensates and is actually more Klingon than a lot of Klingons. And yeah, the adopted Orion on Deep Space Nine was kind of the same way. Kind of stereotypical, you know, he learned everything he knew from bad novels, and not the good kind, the kind with the boobs on the cover. So, Jeremy wasn't impressed with the Enterprise F design, pretty generic. Ooh. Jonathan, at the end, the system redacted was a little confusing until I saw section 31. It would have helped if redacted was red and blinking. Secret Castle says Sloan has faked his death before, right? Yes, but you know, Bashir and O'Brien went into his mind as he was dying, which is one of my favorite episodes of DS9. I think Sloan's dead. Trek or not, there's a hollow story mistake. The cat doc was on the bridge when they kablooied the Ramis, yet she was incinerated. Not a mistake. She just went with them on the mission. Freeman was also on the bridge, so she was also there as well. Was she there when she got shot? Can't remember. It's not a mistake though. Night Sabbath, €2. To my own surprise, I'm Knick Knack made me LOL. Fucking Knick Knack was my favorite person in this episode. The computer's just creating backstories for these people. They're just generic background characters. I am Knick Knack. Exactly my point. Knick Knack was friggin' great. I love Knick Knack. Knick Knack is one of my favorite new Lower Decks characters. I think he's fantastic. Unfortunately, he's not really a Lower Decks character. He's just a holodeck character, but that's okay. I love the third act reveal of Knick Knack's, you know, unique power, his ability, his fighting skill. Fucking Knick Knack made me laugh so much. Man, I feel it's a good day, man. Like I watched Lower Decks. We filmed our stuff, obviously, whatever. And then I finally got around to watching the She-Hulk finale, which was fucking amazing. And then Andor. Andor was amazing too. I think that's probably the last episode of Andor. But it's just a great fucking day of entertainment. I'm so upbeat because of everything I've seen today. It's just been fantastic. So. Springtime. What ship from the novel or games do you most want to see on Lower Decks? From the novel. Which novel or games? I hate these questions because I can never think of anything good right off the hop. Which from a game would I like to see on Lower Decks? Any of them. I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. Sturm von Ulk, Boimler's development is much more front and center this season, and Mariner seems to be back burner. Maybe she was too much focus early on. She was too much focus for the first 3 or 4 episodes, and she very quickly got sidelined for the other characters to kind of step up. She hasn't been like a super main character in a lot of the episodes, so I think that's fine. Fleet Pa, I will admit the episode with Carl was a good episode of Disco. Smart Smears, the only thing from the trailer we haven't seen yet is Mariner being an archaeologist. Interesting to see after Ransom says she's been a great officer under his watch. Pumpkin Spice, was the warbird just a generalized one or an actual one? Well, it wasn't a fucking warbird. It was a Valdor. We will be doing an episode on that as well, but that'll be out next week sometime. General Grievous, the horsey is going to bite you now. Oh my. Ernest Brown, Starfleet debris has a great video on Worf's honor. Okay. The Romulan triplets were cool. Yeah, that's a lot of boob. I'm just saying. Mark Henson, this may have been my favorite, or close anyway. Well, they had 2 crews because of time travel. General Grievous, I think that somehow Section 31 was involved with framing Captain Freeman. Bum, bum, bum. Timey-wimey stuff, yeah. Delilah says time travel could have rescued her from a previous point in the timeline. Exactly. Jonathan, when I realized they kept saying Bromulans rather than Romulans, I got to check. Oh, they did say Bromulans? Really? That's hilarious. And Trekyard, I thought you meant that she was on the bridge early and then went down with them and got killed. So if she got killed and then was on the bridge later, yeah, I can see that how that might be a problem. But again, time travel, it's fine. Time travel can explain so much. Mark says, I thought the Section 31 comm badge thing was hilarious. I always thought that was one of Discovery's stupidest things. Well, no, it wasn't. But still, great to see William Boimler make fun of it. Yeah, I laughed out loud at that. Because we said that from the beginning. As soon as we've always made fun of it, like, look, I got a black badge. Don't show anybody. Well, I got a black badge. I'm going to show her. Oh, I can't show everybody. It's like fucking dumb. You shouldn't have a badge. We've said that since day one. And it's in this episode, and I love it. I love it. It's great. Fleetpaw, Nick Nack was fucking awesome, especially when he ripped off his robes. Ooh, you dirty bastard, you. Jeremy Caulfield, want my last words to be, don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. Ernest Brown, six more of Andor. Really? This season? Ooh, okay. Mark, maybe in the next season, Nick Nack will get a mobile emitter. Ooh, that'd be great. Project Achieva, Nick Nack was a bit of a squanchy ripoff from Rick and Morty. I don't watch Rick and Morty, so I didn't get that. Peter Lecaco, $5, just jumping in to say hi. Great episode of this season. Yes, my friend. Delilah, do you think the incursion would be interesting? What incursion? I might have missed something because I'm kind of stupid. So which incursion are you talking about? Smart Smears, the She-Hulk finale was great. It's like the first time a Disney Plus show I've seen that had a good ending, and it's because it was aware of how the other shows end. Yeah, it's fucking great. It was a great ending. Kevin, Kevin. Sternbond Alcoholics Federation class. Yeah, well, yeah. SC Scout guy, I love the grainy project Genesis looking explanation video in the yes, and confirmed Strange New Worlds Enterprise is not canon. TOS Enterprise is still canon. PJ Chiron, the Section 31 lady doesn't sound like Giorgio. Yo's Asian Brit accent at all. Sounds like Lower Deck's usual nefarious female voices, like the voices from the Romulan sisters in this episode. Well, I disagree. BJ Tehran, would be funny that Section 31 ends up as an animated show. Jeremy Caulfield, enjoying Andor? She-Hulk? They broke their own show on purpose. Yes, I'm enjoying Andor and She-Hulk. I fucking thought they were great this week. So, yes, who cares? I thought they were fantastic. I enjoyed them. I got enjoyment out of them. I had a smile on my face. It made me upbeat. Why would I? Why would you try to put somebody down that really enjoyed something? I don't know. Pumpkin Spice. The new Kung Fu series is a lot of mystical storyline, even though it has nothing to do with the 70s and 90s series. It should have been called Shaolin Destiny. Didn't even know there was a new Kung Fu series. General Grievous, a Federation starship wouldn't have it on their ship to leak. Secret Castle. You would think that having random ensigns wearing captain's pips while walking the halls would be confusing to the crew. No, that's why they were in the different uniforms. Those, because they weren't the lower decks uniforms, and they also weren't the actual first contact like Enterprise style uniforms. So it's like we're doing a holodeck thing. They look similar enough to the first contact uniforms. So if you see somebody wearing that uniform that has the wrong pips on, it's like, okay. Springtime. Here's what would be cool if we saw an in-universe fictional TOS Starfleet ship or ships from a game they were playing. Trek or not, I assume it's the past version of the Cat Doc. Verpine, 3 great new ships and Romulan boob windows in this episode. Paradoxus. Yes. Fleet Paw throws in $2. TOS Connie is still canon. It was great to see her. Trek or not, it's the reason Janeway is nuts. Captain Casey Stewart, Valdor's are warbird. Not really. The Daradex is a warbird, but okay. Ozzy, they were using the Stargate open. Don't know what you mean. Arvor, Crisis Point 3 will probably be a plot for the Strange New Worlds crossover episode. It's kind of what I was thinking too. General Grievous, the Romulan triplets are a kid to the Duras sisters, I think. Or a nod to the Duras sisters. Oh, absolutely they are. Yeah, I totally agree. Secret Castle, wearing a black badge with a mostly black uniform would make Garrett cry. It made me cry when he put it on. It's like it's on the black. You can't really see it. There you go. It's good. They can't see it. It's section 31, man. Gene said, I like the Apple reference with the rock god. Oh, yeah, okay. I see what you mean. The look of it, yeah. And kind of a mention of Orville there, because, you know, Kitty Hawk, where the first flight of the Wright brothers happened. This doesn't even make any sense. I love that the computer just didn't know what to do with the holodeck program, because this had nothing to do with anything. It was just a side character. So I had to make shit up on the fly. It just became an inspirational quote generator. I thought that was fucking great. Woot for the TOS Enterprise being canon. Trek or not, do we know how Sulu dies in canon? Be funny if it was in the Nexus, actually, and he somehow got into Boimler's head. I don't think there's any canon information on that. This Jericho looked like a first contact uniform with a little of the Odyssey uniform. Isle of Film, it's 4:30 here in Germany, and this is good night from me. Live long and prosper, everyone. See you later, Isle of Film. Have a good night and or good early morning. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. BJ Tehran, actually, the Section 31 lady sounded like an evil Janeway to me. Ooh. Trek or not, is there a canon death for Sulu? I don't know. Jonathan, did Boimler's black badge disappear on his black uniform? It happened too quick for me to know. It did not. No, you can see a little bit of a reflection. You can see it there still. Gene Owalski Jr. See, to me, it did sound like George Takei. That's fine. Good. That's good. Didn't sound like to me. And some people honestly said that they needed to look at the credits to make sure. I was one of those people. So I'm sorry I can't hear. It might be something with my brain. I just can't process, you know, the voice without the face necessarily. I don't know. Jeremy Caulfield, not being judgmental, the She-Hulk ending has me baffled. It's supposed to, man. Fuck. It's She-Hulk. She breaks the fourth wall. She talks to the readers of the comic all the time, always has. It was fucking glorious. They're poking fun at everything at the end of that one. All the online trolls, that whole meeting at the end with We Hate She-Hulk thing, and all the little jokes and references in there to the online fans that are just assholes. I thought it was fucking phenomenal. It was very well done. Very well done. Ozzy Madero says the Stargate opening gate. What, you mean the chronogamy? The chronogamy? It wasn't Stargate at all, actually. But okay. This is Jericho. So do you think William has truly gone over to Section 31 or is undercover for Riker? I don't know. We might have a discussion about that at some point. Harrison Wells says the Derridax class Warbird and Valdor class Warbird both are Warbird. Okay, fine. It's a fucking Warbird then. I get it. It's fine. It's not a Warbird to me. It's a Valdor. The Derridax is the Warbird. So that's just me. Maybe I'm dumb. I don't know. But that's the way it is in my mind. So when somebody says Warbird, I think the Derridax. Just the way it is. Rich Klein, we must feed Val. He is hungry. Mark says, I liked how the Kitty Hawk plaque was covered up like Voyager 6 plaque. Yeah. I Love Film throws in €1 with a sleepy face. Yes, go to bed, man. Go to bed. BJ Tehran, I like to see William Shatner make it in the lower decks. Great to have George Takei. Yeah, I think Shatner is too fucking good for it. He doesn't understand it. Like, I don't do podcasts. I don't do animated shows. You just hear him saying that. Like, dude, fuck, get you back as Kirk. Come on now. I don't do animated shows. I don't understand them. He did the animated series in the fucking 70s. But that was back then. I don't know. I just have a feeling Shatner's just been asked and just like, no. I got conflicting feelings about William Shatner. So. Peter Lukaku, Sulu's last words. Oh my. Fleet Pa Swiftback. Can't find a canon death for Sulu. Foley, he was in command of Excelsior until it was decommissioned in 2320 and became Starfleet Chief of Operations. Sturm von Alk, there was a book, 150-year history of the Federation. The base of the intro has that from Admiral Sulu, Starfleet, CNC. Yes, I have that downstairs. It's very loud. Chuck A. Good night, Stuart. I'm looking forward to your Trekyards review and live stream. Good night, Chuck. Yeah, tune in tomorrow at 4. You guys know the routine. Guys, 61 people watching, 41 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's get up to 50 likes. Keep the super chats coming. I would like to get some good super chats during this live. I've already had quite a few good ones, so keep them coming. Keep it up, guys. Springtime. Did you see the Luna class MSD on the bridge of the USS Wayfarer? A Sovereign class. I'm wondering if version was going to be a Luna like the Titan. Yeah, we saw it, noticed it. They didn't redo the bridge. That was just the bridge of the Titan. I wish they would have changed that graphic because it was very fucking distracting. And no, they weren't going to originally do a Luna. Mike McMahon actually made a funny tweet because somebody said, "Is that seriously a Luna class schematic on the bridge of the Wayfarer?" And he's like, he tweeted at Terry Metalis, or he tagged Terry Metalis in it. He's like, "No, it's just a preview of all the ships that are going to disappear from Picard or whatever." It was hilarious. Like, I can't remember the exact wording, but of course you got that bookmark, Lawrence. Most people do. Trekker, no, that's all I can find. He has a daughter, maybe retired. Demora Sulu, yes. Fleet Pa supposedly ended up commanding the Enterprise B, but that's beta canon. Sturm von Alk, I like the idea of Sulu became the CNC of Starfleet. I do too. Jonathan, when the mailbox said Kirk, my first thought was William Shatner usually doesn't do these types of cameos. I started thinking maybe Strange New Worlds Kirk, but it was a pleasant surprise. Oh, it would have been Strange New Worlds Kirk. I would have been pissed. Stephen W. Fathry is here. Text Trek is in the house, everybody. I don't think it's a Valdor. I know everyone keeps saying it is, but it has extra long fins on the top, and the head and neck of the ship is quite different. Lots of other differences too. We know, but everyone's referring to a Valdor right now. We're doing an episode on it where we compare it to the Valdor, so shh. Don't know what to call it right now, so it's a Valdor. I refuse to call it a fucking warbird because the Derridax is a warbird, or the only other warbird that exists in the Romulans, in my mind, is the TOS warbird, or bird of prey. So, but Stephen, shh, quiet. Trust me, we'll do comparisons. That's what we do here. General Grievous, Kitty Hawk was a reference to the V'ger probe, absolutely, but also fucking Orville, Orville and Wilbur Wright, man. So it's a little bit of an Orville nod in there, which I liked. Mark Henson, he has did a lot of animation since then. He was Two-Face the animated Batman. I think it'd be dumb not to use Bill Shatner. Oh, I know he's done some animation. I'm just saying, Star Trek related. The dude doesn't like Star Trek. I'm sorry to break it to you, but Shatner is not a Star Trek fan, and that just fucking irks me to no end. So, yeah. Fleetpaw. Ah, to hell with Shatner. Get Koenig instead. Chekhov is kicking around in fan canon, I heard. Yeah, but he's so fucking old. Man. Jeremy Caulfield. Like World War II, every German tank was a Tiger, so every Romulan ship is a warbird. It's the first time hearing about German tanks being all called Tigers, so I honestly don't want to fight about it. I really don't fucking care. It's not a warbird to me. The Deredex is a warbird, so I'm just going to refer to it as the Valdor until we get more confirmation as to what it actually is called. Captain Casey Stewart. At first I thought they got Shatner, then I seen Kirk and thought, how did they pull that off? Mark said, I did find it interesting how Sulu was at Kirk's farm, given the recent history between Shatner and Takai. Well, he got some digs in. He's like, the dig of Captain Kirk? Oh my, no. Oh, Captain Sulu, even better. And then the whole Kirk could never, he's on some time travel thing. He could never relax and settle down. So it's fine. It's fine. Listen, Jericho, surprised the God being didn't answer 42. You know, I thought the God being was a bit of a reference to the unused rock monsters they were going to use. They originally had planned in the script for Star Trek V. There's going to be like rock monsters on that Shakara, Shakari, the God planet. But that's kind of what I thought it might have been referencing a little bit. But BJ said, get Chris Pine to play Kirk in Lower Decks or the new guy from... No, please don't. Just don't. Mark said it was a Romulan ship. Exactly, that's correct. Hodor. Squadron Course, maybe Warbird is just the Romulan version of Warship. Sure, okay. I like that. That's good. Peter Lukaku, $5. Hearing rumors of a Janeway series off the heels of Picard. Any truth to this, or is it just rumors? Just rumors right now, but fairly solid rumors as far as rumors go. Rich Klein, don't piss off the... you can piss me off, I don't care. Daniel's Hot Topics. I heard the Hikara Sulu appeared in this episode of Lower Decks. You did hear that. Apparently you didn't see it. Squadron Course. A Mogai class. I mean, hey. This is Jericho. Strangely, Shatner does like Arrowverse shows. He used to tweet about them. That's surprising to me. Trek or Not. Rewatch Hunt for Red October. Such a fun movie. Trek or Not. Some F-14 porn. Ooh, yes. Gotta love the F-14 porn. General Grievous. I think a simple explanation for the fin on the top is just that it was an embellishment Boimler made for a holonovel like in the Doctor's Daydreams. Voyager had a photonic cannon on Warship Voyager. Mark says, I think Koenig actually retired from the role in all media. General Grievous, from Loving Witness episode. Oh, from what? Squadron Course, one of my favorite STO ships is the Mogai. Jeremy Caulfield, Adam West at first didn't like being associated with Batman, made it hard to get work, but he later embraced it. Yes, as he should have, and he did well. Secret Castle, Prodigy is basically the Janeway show. General Grievous, Jericho Beta Canon calls it the Mogai, but the designer John Eve said it was always called the Valdor class, not the Mogai. General Grievous says the Valdor was the lead ship of the class from what he said. Why would we listen to the designer, though? Trek or not, I've been rewatching old stuff too. I just started rewatching the X Files, like almost done season 1 now. And this, honestly, the original X Files is it's that fucking guy, because every episode has like 1 or 5 actors that I've seen in 15 other goddamn things. Yeah, you watch shows like Magnum PI or fucking Knight Rider or A Team, and you see the odd person like, hey, I know him. He comes out in this other thing later. But fucking X Files, every fucking episode has somebody that we know, and it's hilarious to play the who is that game without going on IMDb. Sometimes we have to go to IMDb, but every time, every time we watch an episode of X Files, Sylvia knows X Files quite well, so she's like, ooh, you know, she knows kind of what's coming up. But I saw a few episodes here and there. I never saw the entirety of it. I saw most of it, but and it's been so long, I just forgot about a lot of it. But yeah, every time I see somebody, it's like that fucking guy. So that's my new name for the X Files. It's the That Fucking Guy show. Rich Klein, is this heaven, the afterlife, the nexus? Daniel's Hot Topic said, since Sulu made an appearance in Lower Decks, I know this is probably impossible, but I hope he comes into Trek in some form. Please pray with me, Captain and company. Mark Henson, damn it, I meant oh my. Trek or not, who is your favorite Jack Ryan actor, Cap? Baldwin guy. I haven't watched a lot of the Jack Ryan stuff, but since we're talking Hunt for Red October, I'll go with that. Peter the Caco, has anyone checked out the new Quantum Leap? Haven't dived in yet. Not yet. I'm going to wait till the season is finished, and then I'm going to binge it all, and I'll get back to you at some point. Springtime says, am I the only one who wonders what a family show with Tendi and Rutherford set decades after Lower Decks would be like? Yes, it's the first time hearing about that idea, so yes, I would think maybe you are the only one. Fleet Paw says, I was dreaming. Well, technically clinically dead. Tiana-isms rock. Mark says, yeah, them designers, they don't know anything. Character actors. Some of them are actually become big actors in the X-Files. So, SC Scout Guy, I'm rewatching Farscape for the first time since the original airing, and it still holds up. That's another one I have to watch. I have to watch Farscape. Mark says, oh yes, X-Files. I know every actor from the 80s and 90s. LOL. Goddamn, my childhood. Squadron Course. Farscape makes me think of SG-1 episode 200. LOL. Never heard of that one. Yeah, that's a fantastic episode of SG-1. That's the one that really got me into watching all of SG-1. Was somebody, well, Samuel sent me that episode to watch, and yeah. Captain Casey Stewart, when there is nothing on TV, I go back to classical. Hell yeah, absolutely. Speaking of, fucking She-Hulk, the opening with the old 1970s Incredible Hulk opening, that was great. Come on now. Captain Casey Stewart, when there's... Oh, I just read that one. Guys, what's wrong with me? Daniel's Hot Topics. I hope the X-Files comes back with new movies or a series. I love that show in the 90s. It was a staple of the decade. Hell yeah. Although most of their problems would have been solved if they had a fucking cell phone. Take a picture. Take a video of the thing. Text somebody. I know, like, texting and calling, the signal can be jammed or whatever with these strange phenomena. And I love that when they redid they had the new X-Files not that long ago. They had the cell phones, and Mulder took a picture of something and it was blurry. It was just hilarious. But yeah, it would have come in handy so many times to have a friggin' cell phone. Jeremy Caulfield, I like Farscape, though the first season was hard to watch. Glad I didn't give up on it. Mark says, Quantum Leap is okay. It's not near as good as the OG series. Well, that's not a shock. Mark says, of course Baldwin is your favorite. Jack Ryan. Crusher was his wife. Daniel's Hot Topic says, the truth is out there. Boo, 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 boo. Dr. David Banner, yes. Squadron Course. Some of those 80s shows had great openings. Buck Rogers for the. It's some of those 80. All those 80 shows had fucking great openings. Knight Rider, as you said, Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica. That's 70s. To be fair, Magnum PI, fantastic opening. Fucking Murder She Wrote. Angela Lansbury just passed away, which is sad. But Murder She Wrote had a great intro or opening. Thundercats. Thundercats had one of the most epic openings from any cartoon in the 80s. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Transformers was kind of lame. G.I. Joe had a pretty good opening as well. Yeah, man, openings in the 80s were a different breed altogether. Peter Lukaku, $10. The reboot of X-Files was actually really good. Sad that it was short-lived. Don't think it will come back. I think Gillian Anderson bailed. It's a shame. Fleet Power. Farscape was always weird to me. I could never get into it for some reason. Wasn't the ship called Moya or something? Don't know. Lista Jericho. Shatner at Vegas this year said he will try to watch some TNG. He refuses to watch TOS, though, as he said he would just upset him seeing him young. Wah, wah, wah. What a fucking... Oh, that just irritates me. That just rubs me the wrong way so fucking much. Hope he doesn't start with season 1 of TNG, because he'll just be like instantly like, oh, this show's awful. SC Scout Guy, Buck Rogers really needs a reboot like the 03 BSG series. I agree. And the ship was named Moya, yes. 18 had a great intro. Trek or Not, Beetlejuice movie has cool intro with the model town. Beetlejuice is fucking overhyped. I fucking hate Beetlejuice. I can't stand that movie. It's got one or two moments that I like, but I don't get the fucking love for it. I don't get the love for pretty much anything Tim Burton. I don't like A Nightmare Before Christmas. Beetlejuice is just so fucking overrated. Unpopular opinion, but Beetlejuice is not a good movie. I mean, Michael Keaton's all right as Beetlejuice, and like I said, there are moments in it that are good, but overall, it's just a fucking stupid movie. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry if you like Beetlejuice. I don't understand you. If you're a Tim Burton freak, I don't understand that either. Sylvia's uncle actually worked on the Beetlejuice cartoon. He is an animator. He worked on Ewoks back in the day. He worked on the Beetlejuice. He did the Lydia design and stuff. And he actually got to meet Tim Burton a few times. And Tim Burton is a weird fucking guy. There's nothing wrong with being a weird guy. But honestly, Tim Burton's Batman is pretty good. Batman Returns, not so fucking much. You know why? Because Tim Burton had more input into the second movie. Like, it's pretty much all entirely his thing. That's why it's so fucking weird and out there. I just can't stand the guy. Like, yeah, I get it, you're different, but you're different for the sake of being different, and it's just fucking annoying. Like, I don't know, I don't get it. I'm glad he has his career. I'm glad there's people that enjoy what he does. I just don't understand it, and I don't like it. So, sorry, Beetlejuice is a shit movie. The A-Team and $6 Million Man opening, yeah. SC Scout Guy, Airwolf had a great opening as well as Knight Rider. Absolutely. Yes, they don't make openings anymore. I know, it's sad. Vintage Computer Custodian says, what? Angela Lansbury passed away? Yes, yesterday. Sorry that you had to find out this way on this channel, but thought I should mention it. Mark says there was a meme of Angela Lansbury on the set like Starfleet Academy, and it was Kevin Sorbo was a young Boothby. What the fuck? Vintage Computer Custodian loved her in Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. You know, we used to play a game. I used to work at Blockbuster. I was an assistant manager at Blockbuster back in the day. I used to make a game of turning every movie title that came through the return bin, turning the title of that into a porno title. The first day we did this, And what inspired it was the movie Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. So whenever I hear Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, I automatically think of porn. And that's probably a bad thing. Geek in Review, very telling they got Takei and Lower Decks before Shatner. Mark Lawrence, one of my favorite openings for TV show was for Sledgehammer. Oh, I love Sledgehammer. Exclamation point is part of the title. I know, I'm well aware. I used to watch Sledgehammer. You guys remember a show called Manimal, where you could turn into a snake and a black panther and a hawk? It's really weird. A lot of people don't remember it. They think I'm making it up. Incredible Hulk had a great opening. Dr. David Banner, physician, scientist. Takei was probably cheaper than Shatner. Mark says, did anybody like Viper back in the day? I remember Viper. Don't know if I would say I liked Viper, but I did watch Viper. So, Daniel's Hot Topics. What about Batman 89? That movie was a masterpiece. Absolutely. But there was more studio involvement there, and Tim Burton can do his weird fucking freaky shit. So it's more mainstream. Trek or Not? Nope. I only like Beetlejuice and Batman, not his other stuff. Geek in Review. Tim Burton is the only director that hasn't quit Star Trek 4. Facts. Fleet Paw. Beetlejuice is an acquired taste. I LOL. The List of Jericho. I don't waste Shatner. You don't waste Shatner for that. Plus Mariner is a Kirk fan. Donnie Pearson. Greetings, Cap and all. Hope all is well this evening. Good to see you, Donnie. Like how she says, this is where you give him the epic speech that's going to change his way of, or we just pull a Kirk on him, beat the shit out of him. Sturm Von Ulk. The last season of Buck Rogers was horrible, with the exception of Hawk loved the ship. Colonel Deering looked like she was on the love boat. Yes. Hawk was great. I like Hawk's ship as well. My brother was a huge fan of Hawk back in the day. And not Hawk as in Spencer for Hire Hawk. There was a show called Spencer for Hire. He had a friend who was kind of like a special kind of, I want to say hitman, but he wasn't a hitman. He was like a bodyguard. It was played by Avery Brooks. And Hawk was so popular in Spencer for Hire that he got his own spin-off show called Hawk, A Man Called Hawk. And it was really great. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I feel so bad for you. However, go check it out. But yes, Hawk in Buck Rogers was great. Did like the character design, and his ship was fantastic. Those super creative types need someone to rein them in a bit. Yes. Just like Rocky Horror Picture Show is fucking disgusting. I can't stand that movie. I'm sorry. One or two of the songs is catchy, but what the fuck is throwing toast at the fucking screen all about? Like, what the fuck? I don't understand it. I don't like it. Sylvia likes the movie. I can't stand it. I love Tim Curry to death. Tim Curry's a fantastic actor, but nah. I'm sorry. No. Donnie Pearson, I myself have considered the continuation of Quantum Leap somewhere between okay and good, to be honest, but the original still rocks. Jeremy Caulfield, Batman Returns. The Penguin ruined the movie for me. Yes, and for the sponsors like McDonald's who were trying to sell kids' toys. Harrison Wells, Captain Foley, did you like the Family Guy Incredible Hulk intro? The Family Guy Incredible Hulk intro. I can't remember it offhand, so. Peter the Kako, Wheeled Warrior cartoon was a great intro. Still hear the song in my head. Wheeled Warriors was good. So was Mask, Mobile Armored Strike Command. How about Cops, Central Organization of Police Specialists, fighting crime in a future time. Then let's not forget G-Force, which was actually Gachimon in Japan, or the Science Ninja Team, but got turned into G-Force here, and they changed characters' names and took out all the guns and violence and chopped the fucking episodes into like half because it was too adult themed. But hey, the intro was still good. Tim Burton was a reverse George Lucas with the Star Wars sequels. In the Batman sequel, it was worse than the original. Stern Von Alk, Batman Returns, Catwoman. Nothing else needs to be said. Especially when her hair is like, she's all beat up and her hair is like sticking out. It's like, oof, that's sexy. Squadron Chorus, Rocky Horror is a lot more fun if you know the callouts. I know the callouts because Sylvia likes the. I just don't fucking understand. It's so stupid. It's so fucking dumb. It's such a dumb idea for a movie. Dumb. I love the Danny Elfman music in Tim Burton films, Batman and Nightmare Before Christmas. Danny Elfman is fantastic. He had the group Ongo Pongo, who did Weird Science. The song Weird Science for the movie Weird Science. But I didn't know that Danny Elfman was the lead singer of Ongo Pongo until like maybe earlier this year. So, an '89 movie version of Batman introduced me to Tim Burton. A lot of people had introduced to Tim Burton. Yeah, it was like one of his first things. Mark Henson, Danny DeVito could have been a great Penguin. He was a good person for the role. They just made him a gross out, freaky monster-like character. Yeah. Daniel's Hot Topics. Yeah, I agree. I do like Batman Returns. However, Tim Burton had greater control of Batman Returns, and that's why it's a little weird and honestly gross with Catwoman licking Batman's face and sees spit. Yeah. Squadron of course remembers Manimal. Mark says, I heard of Manimal but never saw it. Trek Reviewer says, oh, yes, I know Manimal. Ozzy says, or they're using the slider gate. Gargoyles was cool. Yes, absolutely. Captain Runabout, X-Wing, or Viper, who would win? Runabout would win. Like, let's be real. X-Wing versus Viper, the X-Wing would probably win. But out of those three, the Runabout's going to win. Sorry. Fleet Pass is off topic. Don't develop gout. It really sucks. A massive bag of dicks. Okay. Daniel's Hot Topics. I remember the Beetlejuice animated series. I would always watch that show in the 90s on Channel 6, Kids TV. It was a nice show. Yeah, well, I mean, I just had Thanksgiving dinner at one of the animators on that show's house. I was just over there on the weekend, so. Hawk is also why Avery Brooks had hair in the early season of DS9. No. Hawk was bald. Hawk, Avery Brooks liked the bald look. He had the facial hair and the bald look. They made him shave his facial hair and grow his hair so he would look younger to be Captain Sisko. He didn't want to do it. It was part of the contract to get the job, and he didn't want to do it. That's why finally by season 3, he talked him into just having his hair migrate from his head to his face. So Hawk is not the reason he had hair. It's the opposite. Spencer, says Hawk. Edward Scissorhands was an okay movie, but it never really thought it was an epic. I enjoy Edward Scissorhands, but it's still weird. Cops took place in 2020. It did. Galaxy Rangers, No Guts, No Glory. Thunderbirds became huge again in the UK because of reruns. It's crime fighting time, yes. Mark says, I could never figure out the story for Rocky Horror. There is no fucking story. It's just dumb. I love Thunderbirds as well. And I love the Transformers as well. Autobots, roll out. Prefer Captain Scarlet over Thunderbirds. I never watched much Captain Scarlet, but I just watched a documentary on it. And more human proportions to the maquettes. And it's funny listening to the puppeteers. It's like, these aren't really good for puppeteering. And these are like fucking ladies and dudes from like the 60s and shit. We thought they were awful. Less facial expressions. And we didn't understand it. It's like, fucking relax. It looks better. Captain Scarlet looks better than Thunderbirds. I get that Thunderbirds has its own look. That's cool. I don't have a problem with Thunderbirds' look. It's fine. But they did not like those fucking maquettes. Marionettes, whatever the fuck they're called. Squadron Course. I bought my new bike in Denton, where Rocky Horror took place. Oh. Joseph Barbato. Gargoyles was like half the cast of TNG's post-Trek jobs. Although, yeah. You had Jonathan Frakes. You had Marina Sirtis. You even had Brent Spiner as Pym, I think was the character's name. But yes. Captain Casey Stewart says, I like Burgess Meredith's Penguin. Yes. Trekyards, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. See, I've heard of that. I never watched it. So, Mark says, a runabout can take out a Jem'Hadar attack ship. So, yeah, a runabout wins. Daniel's Hot Topics. Hawk is a cool character in Cobra Kai, although they nerfed him in Season 1 Hawk. It's the wrong Hawk. Squadra Course. The stories in Gargoyles were surprisingly good. I thought Gargoyles ran concurrently with TNG's later seasons. It might have, actually. Turbo Teen. Really? Really? A fucking kid that turns into a car. That's a thing. That's a thing that happened. Donnie said, I thought Gargoyles debuted under a month before the release of... I don't know when it started. I'm not a fucking film historian or TV historian. There's a thing called Google. People can look that up. I don't know. Thunderbirds are go. Gargoyles started in 94. Donnie Pearson, I love the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Let's samurais, guys. That sounds like fucking Power Rangers. Let's samurais, guys. No wonder I never watched it. If that's what it is, then yeah, okay. The raccoons. Yes, the raccoon. Why are we fucking talking about animated fucking... Here we go. Off the rails. What time is it? Yep. Perfectly on schedule. An hour in. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jeremy Caulfield. I'm sure a lot of people know this. The Starfighter from Buck Rogers was designed. They were originally going to go with the Viper. Yes, that's true. Jonathan, George Lucas wanted to make a Buck Rogers movie, and his fourth script revision became Star Wars. Gene Roddenberry wanted to create a space show that was not Buck Rogers, and Star Trek was born. Mr. Captain 93, X-Men cartoon was awesome. Ba-da-na-na-na-na. 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 Harrison Wells, Viper versus TIE Fighter. That's a pretty even match, actually. They don't really... Neither one has shields. I might have to give it to the TIE Fighter. But that would be a close... That would be a good battle. That'd be a good battle. Good call, Harrison. X-Men was great. Fleet Paw, thanks. That was like 5 minutes back then. 90s X-Men was good too. Star Kid, let's do the time. Let's do the time warp again. Catchy song. I do like this song. But, the fuck, man. The fuck. How about a Lower Decks version of Mad Max? How about... No. Fleet Paw throws in $2 off the rails. Time usually occurs 1 hour in. Yes, it's like it's... I don't know if you guys are like fucking trolling me or punking me, and it's like, oh, when it hits an hour, everybody, let's fuck with them. Alyssa Jericho, they revealed that Boimler is aware of those girls at the vineyard are into him and said he could have married one. Yeah, he could have married Leanne. Lianne. I was married to a Leanne, my ex-wife. Actually, that was her middle name. But her first name was Cheryl. But anyway, but she went by Leanne because her mom's name was Cheryl. So I was married to a Leanne, but spelled differently. Lee-hyphen-A-N-N. So, wow, that's a little known Foley fact you didn't know. Dean Fa, Batman the TV series was... Ooh, Batman the animated series? Amazing. Fleet Paw's salary as a mod versus a stormtrooper. Captain Casey Stewart, I'd go Viper with the rocket boosters with speed over TIE Fighter. Okay. So they could run away from the TIE Fighters. Mark Henson, I could see Mad Max comedy similar to Lower Decks. Pierre Lukaku, did you ditch Bridge Crew Nights? No. We're actually just talking about we need to play that again. I've been playing like Alien Fireteam, which I have not been streaming. And then I've been playing most recently Moss 2 or Moss Book 2, the VR game, because I really love Moss. That VR experience is amazing. Also, I want to get Star Trek Prodigy Supernova when it comes out, and I can get it on the PS5. So I just did a really quick, like 6-minute stream to test the PS5 streaming because I haven't streamed from it yet. So there's weird videos on the channel. So. Stern Von Alk, random. You can't do that on television. Hey, I remember that you can't do that on television. Fleetpaw, salary. What's that? I'm hourly. Mr. Oh, last time we gave him a salary, he put he sprinkled salt on it and crunched it. Or he put peanut butter on it, or whatever you do with celery. Mr. Captain 93, did you like the uniforms in tonight's episode? Yes. Squadron Course, not a TV show, but Batman Mask of the Phantasm was amazing in my honest opinion. Yes, it was it was a movie. And it was so well done. Such a good twist in it as well. Yes, 100%. Thunderbirds has the best opening for all TV shows. That's just plain wrong, but okay. Mark Henson, Batman, the animated series, one of the greatest shows of all time. Yes. SC Scout Guy, Stuart, did you ever watch John Carter? I think you would really enjoy that movie. I didn't get around to it, no. It's still on my watch list. I've been watching a few other things, but I have not got around to that yet. General Grievous, did you catch the girls in the Boimler Raisin Farm at the Bonnet? Was the sun-made raisin girl? Yes, did catch that. Yes, we did. Jeremy Caulfield, I like how Boimler confuses the love interest in the simulation. Yeah, it's like that's her only purpose in the simulation. She's like, I don't know what to do. Is Prodigy Supernova going to support VR? No. Trek or not, getting Callisto Protocol cap? I have no idea what that is, so no. Mr. Captain 93, or did you do a stream where you show Samuel clips of Canadian TV shows to see his reaction? That'd be funny. Harrison Wells, favorite James Bond. Sean Connery for me. I really love Sean Connery. I grew up with just drew a blank on his name. Not Pierce Brosnan. Oh my God. I really like Roger Lazenby, actually. Roger Lazenby did one movie as Bond. I really liked his Bond, actually. But yeah, I grew up with Roger Moore. Which is kind of more of a silly Bond. But yeah, my mom and dad really liked Sean Connery. But we watched a lot of those Roger Moore movies growing up. They were more wonky, so... BBC is like community theater. Who was playing? What were you? I thought Dalton was a good Bond. Yeah. Mask of the Phantasm is the best Batman movie ever. The Long Halloween came close, though. I haven't seen The Long Halloween yet. The Trek reviewer. On eBay, I found someone who 3D prints a Galaxy-class hallway that is to scale with the 90s Playmate. Ooh, nice. Mark said, did Jonathan Frakes direct the Thunderbirds movie? I don't know. Donnie says, there you go. I think I missed a comment from you, Donnie. I apologize. Fleetpaw. So serious question here. Do you think Huntsman is going to get tired with McMahon making fun of his 10 tropes and try to kill it? No. Not at all. Squadron Course. There are some great things in the John Carter movie, but for me it didn't live up to the books. It never does. Why would you be surprised? Harrison Wells. Goldfinger is my favorite Bond movie. Roger Moore. Timothy Dalton. You need to check Callisto Protocol. What is it? What is it? Stephen W. Fathery, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton. No, it's Roger Moore. That's one I grew up with. Most Bond movies under his belt. I liked Moonraker. I remember liking that one as a kid. Trekyards sent you a link for the Callisto Protocol trailer. Gonna be awesome game. Okay, well, we'll see. I'll let you know what I think when this is over. Springtime. Did you check out the Lower Decks comic yet? Negative. I have not. Lisa Jericho. The assassinate JFK is a very deep Star Trek reference. Okay. Mark says Roger Moore finally decided to retire from the role when he was older than the last Bond's girl's mom. Fuck. TNG hallway reminds me I need to pester Stan about getting those hallway models. his last Bond girl. Okay. Have you read the John Carter book, Stuart? No, I have not. Squadron Course. I haven't read your book either. I need to. That's so much I need to do. God damn. I never realize it until I'm like doing something like this, and then I forget again. Yes, Frakes directed the Thunderbirds live-action movie. Ooh, cool. Didn't know that. Fleet Pass said, I didn't get that, Jericho. What was the reference? Yeah, there is something about JFK and Star Trek, but I can't put my finger on it right now. John Carter film was a bomb and not a good one. Moonraker is my favorite Bond movie, says Dean. Squadron Core says, I agree that John Carter movie wasn't great, but there were a few great things in it. Were there boobs? Because those are usually great things in bad movies. GoldenEye is the best Bond movie. Squadron Core says, I see how you are. Listen to Jericho. Roddenberry originally wanted Star Trek to be a time travel movie. Yes, where some Klingons prevent the assassination of JFK. It ends with Spock being the one that shoots him. Yeah, okay, yeah, I have heard that story. Harrison Wells, Captain, ever watch older Godzilla movies? Yeah, not till recently though. My buddy Michael Freitas is huge into Godzilla or Gojira, and I've learned a lot about it just talking, the history of it, talking to him. And yeah, I've checked out a few of them. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are like, but yeah. Didn't Roddenberry want a film where they went back to kill JFK? Godzilla is great. I love Moonraker. It's also my fave. PJ says, John Carter film didn't live up to the 1960 pulp covers of the novels. Oh no, how dare it. Grant McGregor just got back home, barely got into the episode. Is that a Vulcan, female Vulcan, 1 minute in, 10 seconds in? Just want to know before I get back to watch. Oh, it's a Vulcan, or a Romulan woman. Romulan triplets. Peter Lukaku just watched Under Siege. Loved Colmini in that. He knows his ships well. Mark Henson, my favorite Godzilla is Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, and destroy all monsters. People says, no shit. I'm glad we got the Wrath of Khan instead of that. That would be a weird Trek movie. Squadron Course, sorry for not super chatting. Ran out of money today, but tomorrow is payday. Yay. No worries, Squadron Course. Don't worry about it. Captain Casey Stewart, my favorite Godzilla movies are from the show's era, 1954 to 75. Jeremy Caulfield, the Martian dog in John Carter was the ugliest, cutest thing I've ever seen. No, that's a pug. That's my definition of a pug. Donnie says, oh yes, my number one TOS movie and overall Star Trek movie, referring to Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. BJ says, don't have Disney do a franchise known for its naked Martian princesses in distress. Oh, yeah. Oh. Squadron Course, just wanted you to know I'm riddled with guilt about that. But not super chatting? I'm sure you are. I can fucking sense the sarcasm coming through my iPad. Damn, man. Grant McGregor says, no, I mean, forgot the female Vulcan name from season 2. Vulcan had a panel explode in front of her. It's like reading too much into, you're reading way too much into things. I know who you're talking about from Ouija or whatever the name of the episode was. Can't remember the girl's name, but not her. Godzilla versus Mithras, 1960s for me. Rich Klein says the JFK plot was that the TOS Enterprise crew went back in time to prevent the Klingons from stopping the JFL assassination. This is Jericho. I've seen them all. The only one you should avoid is All Monsters Attack. Final Wars is the craziest one. Harrison Wells, King Ghidorah is pronounced Ghidorah. Okay. Fleet Paw says, naked Martian princesses. Where? I want a naked Martian prince. Ooh, then he says, I want Naked Martian princesses. Where? I want a naked Martian princes. He wants the princes. Fleetpaw wants the princes that are naked. Squadra course. Money has been tight, saving up to have my book professionally edited. Yeah, so don't feel guilty. You don't feel guilty. You don't even say that. Why would you sarcasm all over the place? No, man, worry about your work. Get that shit published. Grant McGregor says, thanks, back to watching. Enjoy. Peter Lukaku, $2 at Squadra Course. Got your back. Oh, thank you. Well, see, Peter's now super chatting for you, Squadra Course. Thanks, I feel better already. Again, the sarcasm. It's like corroding my laptop, or my iPad, I mean. It's just like bubbling through the... Fleetpaw says, princess. Fucking autocorrect. I know. It's... Your autocorrect... I mean, your phone... It's doing a Freudian slip, man. It knows you so well. I got it. I get it. No judgment. It's fine. Squadra course. Lots of naked Martians in the John Carter books, but some of them are 12 feet tall, green, and have 4 arms. Moving on. BJ says naked princess or princesses not a John Carter film. Springtime. So does Section 31 have their own design for a ship in the 24th century, or are they using Starfleet designs? So far, the Oberth and Defiant. It is a variation of the Defiant, yes, and who knows? We're not supposed to know anything about Section 31. All Monsters Attack is crazy, so is Final Wars. More nudity in Lower Decks than even Star Wars. Harrison Wells says, recommend Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 1974. That's a good year. That's the year I was born, so it's got to be a good movie. Fleetpaw said, fuck you, Stuart. I can't go on. Life's not worth living. It just hurts. Fleetpaw. My man, what's up? What's up? Why are you doing that? Trek Reviewer, who do you think made the better first officer? Lieutenant Commander Shelby, TNG, or Lieutenant Commander Cavett? Cavett. I can't remember who Commander Cavett is. Is he from the pilot, or from the first episode of Voyager? He was kind of an asshole. So I would say Shelby. She was kind of an asshole too. She was kind of a bitch. Fleetpaw says, just kidding, love you. Oh, thank God. Thank God I didn't take my own life. General Grievous, don't watch Godzilla 98 with Matthew Broderick. Yikes, that movie is a sticker. I have seen that movie, and it's interesting for its own things, like Hank Azaria is in it, and, you know. But yeah, it's a monster movie. It's not a Godzilla movie. So there's a rumor of a Lower Decks live-action cameo at some point. It's not a rumor. It's going to be season 2 of Strange New Worlds. So yes. Daniel's Hot Topics. I hear that the Moriarty and Picard season 3 will not be the same version from season 2 of TNG Elementary Dear Data or season 6 episode Ship in a Bottle. It will be a 25% different Moriarty. You're just being a facetious asshole now. Mark says, looks like you're all about to get promoted. General Grievous, Fleetpaw, not wise words to say to someone who has mentioned a double harness. A double harness he has. What? The fuck are you watching, General Grievous? Sturm Von Ulk, time to turn into a pumpkin. Good night, all. Good night, man. This is Jericho. I love the mocking at Discovery with the black comm badges. Yes, and the mocking of the Kelvin timeline not making any goddamn sense. Just being different actors playing them, younger versions of themselves. Squadra Course. Lots of princesses. Lots of princess in the art. Nakedness varies. Captain Casey Stewart. G98 is an okay movie. Godzilla 98. But not a good Godzilla movie for sure. Yes. Adam Vera says, Cap, you're the man. I am the man. Rich Klein says, what do you think of Admiral Jellicoe in Prodigy? That's interesting. I love it. Ronnie Cox is an interesting actor, and I'm glad he's back as Jellicoe. Was Jellicoe a dick? Yes. Was Jellicoe a bad captain? 100% no. He was just didn't mesh well with Riker, and Riker was a whiny little bitch as a result of it. So, hashtag that's all on Riker, honestly. But yes, it was their ship. Then he came in and took over, and it's like, yeah, well, that's how things work, though, dude. You need to relax. Can't get all pouty because he wants to go do a 3-shift rotation instead of a 4-shift rotation. 4-shift rotation makes better sense for the crew. They get more time off. It's fine, but no. He's got to change it up. And Riker's all like, I got to deal with all the complaints because you're the captain and you don't listen to the complaints. I do, and then I move them on to you. So I don't want to, yeah, long story, but yes, I'm glad he's back. Dance party timeline now, Captain. Daniel's Hot Topics. Are you excited to see the USS Enterprise F in Picard Season 3? I hope we get a series on that beauty. Yes, I'm excited to see it. We will not get a series on the Enterprise F. I mean, that would be cool, but not necessary. General Grievous. One of your drunk streams, Cap, you mentioned you own a harness with 2 attachment areas on it. The Admiral Special. But we don't have such a thing. We have like a sex swing, and we have some bondage stuff if you really want to know, but no harness attachments. So I think you might have misheard, because I never get that drunk that I don't remember that. So, I don't want to get too much into the weeds on that one. I could kind of go into more detail what we do have, but you really don't want to hear that. So, Captain Casey Stewart, can't wait to see the TOS style uniforms in well, they're not exact replicas, obviously. Jellicoe was an ass because he had to be. Yeah. Fleet Paw, I'm not worthy of Foley's goodness. I'm not worthy. That's true. That is true, but we do like to keep you around. Listen, Jericho, the Stranger Worlds crossover still sounds like a weird idea to me. It would just be Mariner complaining that everything is wrong. I don't think Mariner will be complaining everything is wrong. Mark Henson, Ronnie Cox is friggin' awesome. RoboCop, Total Recall, the guy is great. Yes. This is Jericho. I missed Kenzie in the trailer. Kinsey. Squadron Course. I had to work out all day shifts for the service. Went with 4 because it makes more sense for a standard Terran day. It does. Rich Klein. Ronnie Cox was great in RoboCop and the original Total Recall. Mark says, oh my. The Trek Reviewer. I think the Enterprise F is going to get destroyed in Season 3 of Picard. That'd be funny. Okay. Don't tell anybody this. This is a secret. But I heard from somebody that might be associated with the show that there's 2 Enterprises at least. One of them might be a G. The Enterprise G. So you might be right. But shh. Don't tell anybody. That goes no further. I won't say if I even actually heard that or not. I will deny everything. Brandon Carell. Such a great convo compared to going off on food like last time. It's either food or 80s cartoons or 80s shows or... Yeah, yeah. Mark says, so much for the Enterprise F. Melissa Jericho says, I hope the crew of the F wear the Odyssey uniforms with the white and red stripes. Peter Lukaku. So you worked at Blockbuster. Don't you miss those days? I still miss going and never finding the movie I want with my girl and leave with something else because the popcorn was great. I do miss those days quite a bit. We had a lot of fun working at Blockbuster. It was such a great, you get to choose the movie that's on, and you always had to pick like ones that were family friendly-ish. I never did. And if I did, I threw in Beast Wars, man. I threw in Beast Wars and we watched Beast Wars on the goddamn TV because I love Beast Wars. But I was an assistant manager, so I could kind of do what I wanted when I was there without the manager there, and she was kind of a bitch anyway. Well, our first manager was fantastic, but then he got a new job and got a job basically across the street at a furniture factory that made furniture, Samsonite in Stratford. And then we got a new manager who was a bitch. We thought one of us, either me or my buddy Mike, And ironically enough, his name is Mike McMahon. It's not the same Mike McMahon, but we thought one of us were going to get the position of manager because he was leaving. And no, they pulled in some other bitch from another fucking store, and that's another story for another day. Fleetpaw, I like that idea, Trek Reviewer. I would be willing to fire a final torpedo to break her back. You're still talking about sex equipment? I don't even know. Springtime. Ronnie Cox was actually known for always playing the nice guy before RoboCop. Really? Damn, man. Squadron Course. Star Trek tech question. Do you know how the corridors and Jeffries tubes on the ships get numbered? Is there a pattern or system for that? I'm sure there is, Squadron Course, but I haven't researched it. I haven't looked into it, so I don't know off the top of my head. I wouldn't even know where to. I would suggest one of the technical manuals, but I don't think they would go into that kind of detail. That's something you'd have to talk to like Mike Okuda or one of the designers about. So I honestly don't know. Daniel's Hot Topics. No. I don't want to see the Enterprise F going boom. Boom, baby. Captain, Kate, here's what's going to happen. They're going to need a ship. They're going to want the Enterprise F. It's going to be at its launch or something. You know, it's the fireworks. Enterprise F. And they're going to take the Enterprise F to do this mission. And the Enterprise F gets fucking destroyed for somehow. And like, fuck. Well, we can use the Titan. We're going to use the Titan. It's a good backup ship. Let's go with the Titan. That's what they're going to do. And then, at the end of the season, this is only going to happen at the beginning of the season. At the end of the season, they're going to be like, hey, we have a new Enterprise. The Enterprise G, everybody. That's what's going to happen. I told you. Mark my words. Captain Casey Stewart. Captain, have you ever watched Old McHale's Navy with Ernest Borgnine? I've seen a few of them. I remember my dad would watch it when I was really young. And I don't remember much of it, so I would say no, I haven't really watched it. Neil Henderson, at the Trek Reviewer, you may not many letters left until we find out the J exists in this timeline. The Trek Reviewer, I wonder if the bar on the Enterprise G will be called the G Spot. LOL. Oh, that's fucking great. I like it. I like it a lot. Fleetpaw Swiftback, $2. Enterprise F go boom. This is Jericho. That'll be such a dick thing to do if they destroy the F. Probably will happen. General Grievous, were you a Blockbuster sadist? Because I remember at the store near me, if you were there a minute late, they took unmitigated glee in charging you extra. No, that was very nice. That was very understanding of that kind of thing. We kind of all were, except for a new bitch manager that we got who wanted to prove herself. She came from another store and she wasn't a manager very long. It's like, why the fuck is she qualified to fucking take care of our store when we've been at our store for years? We need a fucking promotion. Don't bring in a new bitch. Fuck. I'm not bitter at all. I wasn't at the time, as you can tell. But no, I was pretty generous about that. If I like the person, you can get these odd people in there that are fucking assholes that you're just like, yeah, fuck you. You're gonna get charged, but that's probably why you got charged all the time, General Grievous, is my guess. Anyway. Daniel's Hot Topics. I love Beast Wars, or Beasties as it's called in Canada. Yes. Beasties! I call it Beast Wars because it's Beast Wars. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I will never call it Beasties. I refuse to. But yes, it was Beasties on YTV. Why? Because in Canada we can't have a children's show with wars in the title. Fucking stupid. But whatever. It is what it is. Daniel's Hot Topic says, I heard from the podcast that the character of the Holo Doctor, who inspired by Moriarty in TNG, and the Holo character, or Moriarty, was supposed to be in Voyager. Captain Casey Stewart. Ernest Borgnine was also Dominic Santini in an Airwolf. Yes, he was. Rich Klein. Don't forget Ronnie Cox in Beverly Hills Cop movies. Yep. As Bogomel. Yeah. I don't know if he's back for Beverly Hills Cop 4, but Rosewood and Taggart are going to be back. The same actors. I'm looking forward to Beverly Hills Cop 4. I really like the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Beverly Hills Cop 3, not so much, but I love the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Me and Sylvia both do. We were actually talking about that the other day when we were driving down to Toronto to go for Thanksgiving, and we're like, we need to watch those again. So they're probably on our watch list soon again. But yeah, I hope Bogomel returns for the fourth one. Mark said if the G was in a lower decks, it could also be. I could also see that as the name for the bar. Brandon Carell, just think about designing the F and getting so excited to see it made canon on screen, then to have the choice of it's main ship in a fucking game. It has been for years. I think you got your glee out of it. Plus, you did see it on screen. It is canonized, so Adam Eel, he's the guy who designed it. We did an interview with him. Nice guy. That would be a shame though. General Grievous, that does it, Cap. How's your Mustang doing? I don't know. I can hear it rusting from here. Oh, that's right. I don't own a Mustang. I own a Camaro, so I can't hear anything. Squadra Course. There was a local video rental chain. If you were late, you could take the movie in and re-rent it. Their point-of-sale system assumed they had forgotten to check it in and remove the fees. Yeah. I worked for Blockbuster, and then, like I said, assistant manager for a few years, and then this other bitch came in, and anyway, we ended up quitting and kind of leaving her high and dry. I went across the street to a place called, what the fuck was it called now? God damn it. Video Plus Books, owned by a really nice old couple who, the store was full of it was books and DVDs and rentals and music, and it was great. And we went over there and basically said fuck Blockbuster, which was right across the street. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. This is Jericho. Family Guy had an episode recently about Blockbuster. He had a tape that was 20 years late and was fined $16,000. General Grievous, yes, I'd love to get in there to get their hopes up and then destroy the Enterprise after garbage scow. Daniel's Hot Topics. Yeah, that was odd in Canada. YTV did not want Beast Wars in the title of the show. I used to watch a lot of YTV and saw Beasties on the title, but then when I bought it on VHS, it was Beast Wars. Yeah. Mark Henson, I don't think I've seen Beverly Hills Cop. I've definitely heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it. Wasn't Eddie Murphy in it? Yes, he was, and you need to watch it. It's the reason I was called Axel in high school, because Eddie Murphy's character, his name is Axel Foley, and he's a detective in the Detroit Police Department, and he goes to Beverly Hills and because his friend gets murdered, and so yeah, go watch it. Beverly Hills Cop and Beverly Hills Cop 2 are both really good. Rich Klein's $5. When our kids were young, they used to sing Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference. Captain Casey Stewart. Captain, if you has a working holodeck for an hour, what would you do? For an hour, I couldn't do everything I wanted to do. I don't know what I would do. For an hour, I would probably do, honestly, if it was a real holodeck, I'd probably do like a Star Trek adventure, like a TOS Connie or something, in real life. Man, I have so many ideas for holodeck things I would do. You don't want to hear half of them. That's a good question, though. This is Jericho. What was Star Wars called in Canada? It's called fucking Star Wars because it wasn't a kids' TV show on YTV. General Grievous. I love watching the Blockbuster employee training video they uploaded on YouTube. So cheesy. Oh, God. I haven't seen that in years since I worked there. But Fleet Paw says, I wouldn't call it a garbage cow, but I don't see Enterprise when I look at that ship. Donnie Pearson, I agree with Dan about the Enterprise. Peter Lukaku, Beverly Hills Cop is coming back for another movie. Yes, it is. Beverly Hills Cop 4. Inspector Todd was an actual cop. Yes, he was. Donnie Pearson, to me, Ronnie Cox will always be known as Andrew Bogomel in Beverly Hills Cop. General Grievous, Casey Stewart, I don't think he can tell you on the stream what he would do in a holodeck. If it was a holodeck with decency protocols, you know, I do a Sherlock Holmes thing, or I do a Star Trek thing, or, you know, but if it was a holodeck with the decency protocols disengaged, yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Mark says, I'd have an holographic orgy. Rich Klein says, from now on, we should call you Captain Axel. I mean, hey, if you want to, that's fine. Everybody was like, you're Axel in high school. And I'm like, I kind of like the name Axel. It's kind of funny. And plus, I love the movie Beverly Hills Cop and Axel Foley, and that's a pretty badass motherfucker. So, well, not badass motherfucker. He's just a badass. And it's like, okay, well, you call me Axel then. I don't fucking care. You think you're making fun of me, but I don't mind. Like, Axel's a good nickname to have, I think. But whatever. Captain Casey Stewart. We used to have a local video store, rental store called On Track Video with a train logo. Nice. BJ Turan. I love seeing Captain Marvel going through the roof of a Blockbuster store in a recent film. Yes. Mark said, ironically, he was later accused of being one hell of a corrupt cop, too. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Squadra Course. I'd tell the holodeck to teach me how to make a functioning warp drive. Donnie said, one of my mom's longtime schoolmates is a retired Beverly Hills police captain. His nickname, Axel. Peter Lukaku. Holodeck with safety off. I would try a Call of Duty mission. Would be the best 20 seconds ever. Fleetpaw, keep in mind, turning the safety protocols off means you get all the alienists. Okay, I didn't say, guys, you need to clean out your ears. I didn't say safety protocols. I said decency protocols. Decency protocols. It's like the safe search filter on your fucking Internet Explorer or whatever the fuck the kids use these days. Filters out all the adult content. Decency filter. I didn't say safety protocols. You didn't hear me say safety protocols because I didn't say it. So I know what I said. Decency protocols. And that's not true. You wouldn't get STDs from it. I know what you said. I meant what I did. See, Captain Casey Stewart's a good question. Cap, if you're a fighter pilot, what would you want your call sign to be? Thing is, you never get to pick your call sign. It's always based on some stupid shit you did, or some variation of your last name, or just whatever. There's the odd fighter squadron that has a raffle for like some cool, like 4 or 5 cool call signs. So when somebody retires, they put the call sign up for the raffle that you can get a cool call sign. But call signs are always based on a variation of your name or something dumb you did. Like Goose, you can imagine that Goose from Top Gun maybe walked in with a boner one day or something. He goosed somebody or something, I don't know. Maverick would never have the name Maverick ever unless he won it in a lottery, and he wouldn't have because he was young. Like Wolfman gets crazy at night when he gets drunk, probably. Got drunk on a full moon and like ended up in a gutter somewhere. Hollywood, always taking, always his perfect hair and always wears his sunglasses, and so they would call him, "Hey Hollywood, how's it going?" Or he really knows his movies or some shit like that. Sundowner, I'd hate that one because Sundowner, I don't know if you know Top Gun, but the guy that his call sign is Sundowner is a black guy. Sundowner, So that's kind of a, is it politically correct? I don't think so. Iceman, it's the way he flies, ice cold, no mistakes. Might get that name, but again, it's too cool. I would probably get a nickname. I would probably get a call sign like Axel. That would probably be my call sign, because Axel Foley, Stuart Foley, Axel Foley. Or I'd get something related to Star Trek if I talked about Star Trek all the time. Or you never pick your call signs. That's the thing about call signs. I watched a show in Canada. Well, it wasn't in Canada, but it was a show about Canadian fighter pilots up at Cold Lake, Alberta, where they train. The one female fighter pilot, her call sign was Guns. She didn't say how she got it, but she had a pretty impressive set of guns. I'm just saying. And I don't mean guns, I mean guns. But it could also be that she was really good during target practice. Things like that. Like, you don't pick your call sign. It's always something. So I, of course, would make Crisis Point 3, says Lister Jericho. Peter Lukaku throws in $1. Thank you so much. Call sign equals red 5. Holodeck, engage condom mode. I'd give the Lower Decks episode a 9 out of 10, probably. I'm going to go to a good score. Call sign equals blind man. Lister Jericho. I liked when Mariner left the holodeck. She stepped over the black bar. I saw her do it. I was like, what the fuck is that? But now I get it. Jaws. I laughed out loud when Shaq said, we don't want any witnesses. Yes, we don't want any trouble? No witnesses. Captain Casey Stewart. I like Bob's call sign in Top Gun Maverick. Nobody knows what it means. They never did clarify that. Captain Chang told them no witnesses. Fleetpaw said, wonder what mine would be. Probably something like dumbass. They call me Pitok because Klingon. I don't know. You probably have a nickname like, or a call sign like Listerine or something. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. This is a good conversation for Matt Borman to be a part of, but he's not here, unfortunately, because he's got boyfriend detail. He's got to go take care of his boyfriend. Oh, no, he is the boy. Oh, okay. Dead meat is the best call sign. Blind man equals dude sees but misses everything. Mark Henson. Crisis Point 3 would be about them getting transported to the Captain Proton universe, and they'd get zapped in the Dixon Hills universe, and then they'd end up they'd team up with Flotter. You forgot about Sherlock Holmes. Terrence, hi. Hey, man. Daniel's Hot Topic. Salty does not like TNG ships. He finds them too powerful. That the problems with the ship and be solved with telling the computer what to do, and the deflector dishes can let you travel through time. And not just Flotter, but Toby the Targ. I like that. Don't agree with Canadians are too polite to fight over call signs. LOL. Just kidding, Cap. Grant McGregor just finished the episode. Well, certainly Boimler could be from the Mirror Universe. Thought this season though feels like they wanted to take the end of the series in a new direction. Captain Casey Stewart, what's your name, Bob? What's your name, Bob? No, your call sign's Bob. Daniel's Hot Topics. There was going to be a Beverly Hills Cop show that was put in a vault. The pilot was filmed, and Axel Foley was killed at the end and dies in his son's arms. Eddie Murphy filmed the death scene. No. Daniel's Hot Topics, but we will never see it, sadly. I know. Terrence Childs, a good call sign is Cobra Commander. You wouldn't get a cool call sign like that. Come on now. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it there. In summary, this was a fantastic episode, probably one of the best episodes of Lower Decks I've ever seen. I really enjoyed it. I felt so good coming off of it. And you'll be interested to see our review tomorrow because Samuel might have a different take. So anyway, on that note, Thank you for watching. And join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that live review and breakdown where we look at all things Crisis Point 2. Paradoxus. Sorry, I couldn't remember the last part there for a second. You said Matt has boyfriend duties and really horrible imagery flashed through my head. Really funny, horrible imagery, but still. Wait, we're talking about lower decks? Yes, we were. We were at one point, then we weren't for a long time, and then now we are again, but I'm going to leave. So, have yourselves a great night, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.